Welcome, welcome, welcome to another program, Beyond the Veil, Revelation Beyond the Veil. This is Augusto Perez. I pray and trust that you're well and ready for another interesting program. We're going to be going down some very strange pathways today in the area of Bible prophecy and visions and dreams. We're going to kind of pick up where we left off last week regarding the warning, the vision of Garabandal, and how it lines up with a lot of the visions and dreams that the Lord has given me and other people, other seers throughout history. And, we are in a very a different season right now. I guess you can feel it. You can feel it in your bones. We have entered. Remember when I used to watch many years ago, I wasn't still saved, but I loved his programs, The Twilight Zone with Rod Serling. And he always used to introduce the program with, you're now entering the Twilight Zone. And then he showed a lot of different things, like the clock going backwards, the hands of the clock going backwards. And he talked about the time and imagination and time and space and many of the things that we talk about in these programs, right? And he basically was trying to say that there is a realm that exists beyond our comprehension, beyond our imagination, a realm where strange things happen and inexplicable things happen. And I don't know, I have always been drawn to these things since I was a child. Since I was a child, I was drawn to these things inexplicably. And since I was a little child, the Lord always gave me a sense of his presence. I was drawn to his presence. I was drawn to him. And he did show me some things, even as I was a child growing up. I just did not understand it. I did not understand it. My brother, who passed away this year, he and I got very close at the end. But my brother and I used to sleep in the same room. And he was 10 years older than me. And I remember that a couple of times he said to me, you woke up last night in the middle of the night and you were just talking in gibberish. You were just talking gibberish, like in saying things in like in another language or something. He told me that. And I didn't make anything of that. I didn't make any big deal of that. I just didn't know what to think about it. But the Lord has always been dealing with me since I was a little child. His hand has been on me. And he has shown me many things about the future. And I don't talk much about it. I post them. We have done videos. But there is a reason why the Lord gave these things to me, and there is a reason why these things are shown to people. Not just me, but many, many people. The Lord wants these things released. He wants these things spoken to warn the people of what is about to happen. And so this is something that is very important for us to understand, that when I share a dream or a vision, or when I talk about some things like this, a lot of people get offended, a lot of people get upset because they think I'm boasting, because they think I am talking about myself, but blah, blah, blah. But that is not the point at all. The point is that God gave me something very precious, and he releases me to share it with the people, and I have to share it. Woe to me if I don't share it. Woe to me. So if you're out there and you're uncomfortable with that, too bad. All I can tell you is, too bad. This is the way that I'm going to do it, and this is the way the Lord has created me. Maybe you never had a dream. Maybe you never have a vision. Maybe you never get anything. Maybe you get jealous or upset or whatever. But my point is not to exalt myself, because I humble myself every day before the mighty hand of God. And God knows my heart. God knows my heart. He knows my heart. He knows that all I want is him. And all I desire is him. But there are things I must share with you, because we are at that point in time when the end is upon us, people. The end of time is upon us. And there's no turning it back. There's no turning it back. And there are some things I'm going to share with you today, and I have nothing against the precious Catholic people. There's a lot of Catholic people out there. Are very, very beautiful people, have a beautiful heart. Many of the seers that I have mentioned, I may mention today, were Catholic monks, Catholic visionaries, people who walk very close to the Lord. And then again, there's some people out there, you don't like me saying that? Well, too bad. It's the truth. God doesn't look at the things the way mankind does, and he looks at the heart. When I was teaching Bible school a few years ago, around the year 2000, I think it was, here in the local church, I taught 2 years of Bible school. I taught one course that dealt with miracles, signs, and wonders throughout history and today. And there was one particular semester that I taught on 2,000 years of charismatic Christianity. And I read the whole book because I had to read it, and read it probably more than once to be able to teach it to the students. It was an excellent book, and he had historical data of all the seers and all the men and women that walked with God throughout even the Dark Ages, and how they received from the Lord incredible miracles and dreams and visions. Many of them were able to do things that we read about in the book of Acts. They were translated from one place to another, levitated. They saw multiplication of food to feed the hungry. Many, 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 many miracles that were seen by them. And and many of these were Catholics. Some of them monks. They had no possessions on the earth. None. They probably walked in more purity and holiness than anybody today. Of course, we know what's going on with the Catholic Church today. I don't even have to mention that. But I'm telling you that these things happened. And some of these things that I'm going to share with you today, it's not to offend you, it's not to harass you, it's not to make you feel uncomfortable. It's just to share with you something that the Lord has shown me, and it is coming to pass. And some other people also who have seen the same things is coming to pass. And even the revelation of Garabandal in Portugal, Spain. In Portugal, I think it was in Spain. Yeah. And even these things confirm what I'm about to share with you. And this thing is happening now, people. This is the urgency I'm trying to share with you. I don't know if you understand or if you sense the urgency in my soul, in my heart, in my spirit. But there is an urgency right now. And this urgency from the Holy Ghost is to wake you up, to cause you to rise up and to cause you to examine yourself, all of us, to see if we are right with Him, if we are prepared for the things that are happening right now. And it's a warning. It's an alarm warning. And the Lord started showing me back in 2018 about the great demonic deception that was coming. He has shown me also dreams and visions of Jesus Christ appearing in the heavens. And this also goes together with a huge celestial body appearing in the heavens. More about that in the future, or maybe today, later in the program. I had a dream back in 2016, 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago. 2017, I had a very unusual dream about the Pope. And Pope Francis stepping down. April of that year, 2016. And when I had that experience in the middle of the night, I was inside this Gothic building resembling a large basilica, Catholic church basilica. And Francis was there with many people. And everybody there was aware that Pope Francis was stepping down as the Pope. And there in the middle, there was a middle-aged woman that began to talk to the Pope. And she said to him, I will not be supporting your ministry anymore, your papacy. I'm going to be supporting now the new Pope. My money is only for the Pope. And so when I looked at Pope Francis, he said to the woman, I know. And now I was just watching. I was just a spectator there. I was able to see them, but they were not able to see me. And then the scene changed, and I was in another place in a large Protestant church. And I was seeing how and hearing how this pastor, a very, very well-known pastor, was stepping down as a pastor. And then I was taken to another place, and I saw another one, and another pastor stepping down, and another one, and another one, and another one. And so several pastors do this. After this happened, the scene changed, and I found myself in another room. Now, I was in this room, and it was like I was trying to put together pieces of a newspaper articles with pictures and stories in them. And it felt to me that I was trying to put together a very complex jigsaw puzzle. The only difference was that I was doing it with a newspaper headlines, clippings, that contained stories that had been shown to me. However, there was a part of the puzzle that I was having a lot of problems with, and I was not able to put together. I was not able to piece together. It was during that time that I received a phone call telling me that the Pope was stepping down. And this news was causing a lot of stir among the people. And then I woke up and I wrote it all down. When I prayed about this, I was not given the reason or the date for this event. But I did know, and from what I saw, okay, because I had to interpret some of these things, there's a big difference between the Lord telling you something in a dream or a vision or an angel of the Lord, and you seeing some events in a dream which you have to interpret. So it looks as if, from what I saw and from my interpretation of this dream, with the help of the Holy Spirit, is that after the Pope steps down, other pastors are going to also step down from their positions as pastors of the churches. I couldn't recognize the face of the pastors, but some of those churches were large. I was not shown the reason that this happened. It could be several things. It could be scandals. It could be hidden sins, corruptions. Some of the things that happen in the Catholic Church with the Pope. And I tend to believe that it's all of those things, but it mostly has to do with the latter one. So it seems that there is much more to the story than I was shown as I was trying to piece together the pieces of the puzzle, but was not able to do it all successfully because there were some missing pieces. The fact that I was looking at the jigsaw puzzle I was putting together, made up of newspaper article clippings, indicates to me that these things will come out in the news. Now, I don't know, I have already shared, I don't know if you're aware of what happened just this last month of November, a synod in the Catholic Church. Thank you, Jesus. But this synod in the Catholic Church, it just ended the last day of October. And I noticed that recently, that after the synod ended, there are some things that started to kind of make their way into the Catholic churches, make their way into the news, kind of very, very, very low key, right? It's not gonna come, out with sounding cymbals. It's gonna be done very, very quietly, almost unnoticeable. Okay, little by little. But now you see how this Pope is basically moving against those that are speaking truth, like Bishop Joseph Strickland. You saw it in the news. He removed Bishop Strickland for going against him and denouncing some of the things that he's saying. So One of the things that came out of this synod is called synodality and homosexuality. One of the things that came out of this is there's going to be a push in favor of same-sex marriage, transgenderism, and QXY movement, right? This is going to be added to the Catholic Church where, you know, all these people are going to be able to be ordained, I mean, to become normal, a normal part of the Catholic Church if they so wish to do so. This is already happening. This is already happening. This has caused a paradigm shift in Catholic theology, which is going to affect the Protestant, a lot of Protestant denominations. And a lot of the churches, especially the bigger churches that are going with the flow, this is probably what the Lord showed me in that dream, the vision of the night that I had with Pope Francis stepping down. Now, another thing that is also beginning to make its way, and this was covered in the synod, and this is so incredible that I don't even know if you're going to believe it when I say it. One of the things that was covered in this synod of the Catholic Church was the promotion and the praying for devils. You heard me right. You heard me right, folks. They are now saying from this synod, which was called Towards the Spirituality for Synodality. This is incredible. What some of the things that were that were presented there, and one of the things that was presented was it says, "What is a merciful heart?" It is a heart. Now, this is from one of the documents of the synod. Okay. It is a heart on fire for the whole creation, for humanity, for the birds, for the animals, and then it says, for demons, for all that exists. By the recollection of them, the eyes of a merciful person pour forth tears in abundance. And by such great compassion, by the strong and vehement mercy that grips the person's hearts, and by such great compassion, the heart is humbled. And one cannot bear to hear or see any injury or slight sorrow in creation. For this reason, such a person offers up tearful prayer continually, even for irrational beasts, and for the enemies of the truths, and for those who harm her or him, that they be protected and receive mercy. And in the like manner, such a person prays for the family of reptiles. Now listen to this. What is that? What is this got to do with anything? And why reptiles? In like manner, such a person prays for the family of reptiles because of the great compassion that burns without measure in the heart that is in the likeness of God. So you see how, and I'll stop there. You see how, precious people, it says a lot of beautiful words, and I believe some of those words. I believe some of those things. I believe that we should have a love for humanity, for the birds and for the animals. But then all of a sudden, this is the trickery and the deception of the enemy. Do you follow what I am saying? This is how he operates. He gives you some truths. He gives you sometimes many truths that come from the Word of God. But then all of a sudden he slips a poison pill in there. He slips a little poison in there, right in the middle of all of these truthful, good, spiritual, kind words. He slips a pill of poison. And right in the middle of all that, he adds for demons. And then he goes on for all that exists. So a person that is reading this that is not familiar with the Word of God, is not familiar with the Scriptures, is not close relationship with the Almighty God, does not walk with Him, does not walk in according to His ways, has allowed the moral compass to slip. A person that walks in that condition, in the worldly, carnal condition, and then, of course, believes the Pope is the oracle of God, and believes all the things that he says, and these people, and that comes from the Vatican, especially, when this happens, such people read this, and then they're saying, oh, that's so wonderful, such kindness. But then all of a sudden, smack in the middle of it, there it goes, for demons. And then at the end, it slips in the reptile. I mean, why? Why would they mention a reptile? I mean, why not mention the birds? Why not mention the lions, right? The wild beasts, the leopards and the tigers, something like that, right? That sometimes they do kill people. No. It mentions a reptile. The one creature that the Almighty cursed. The one creature that the Almighty cursed in the book of Genesis. He cursed it because it was the one creature that was used to deceive Adam and Eve. And of course, I've talked about that a lot, so I'm not going to cover it here. That serpent was not a normal serpent. It was different. It was Nakash. But what I'm trying to tell you is that this synod just ended. And so now we're looking at the official synod publication promoting praying for reptiles and demons. Now, folks, this is real. This is happening. This is not, something that conspiracy theory. Okay, this is a fact. This is happening. This is happening, people. And so we're seeing this kind of turn in what is happening in the Catholic Church, and I'm telling you, this is going to get worse and worse and worse. And basically, there was a warning at Garabandal. Okay, there was a Garabandal, and one of those things had to do with the Pope. And this is why it was never published. Talked about an anti-Pope that was going to come at the end, and he was going to abolish many church doctrines and dismantle the church as the people know it, as the world knows it. This anti-Pope, as it was called, was going to bring about the destruction of the church, and he was going to pave the road for the Antichrist. Now, this Pope, this anti-Pope, is going to introduce the Antichrist to the world. Okay? This is got to happen before the warning, or right at the warning, which was shared at Garabandal. This anti-Pope is going to, and this may be the reason why I was not shown this. I couldn't see it. He's going to step down, and he basically going to introduce this other individual, and he will introduce him to the world. And so this individual is going to gain popularity very, very, very quickly. He's going to be seen on TV. He's going to be seen as a great teacher, as a world teacher. He's going to appeal to every religion and the non-religious as well. He's going to be the one that's going to merge all the religions into one. He's going to bring about a vast economic changes. The distribution of wealth to the third world. This has already begun. This is already begun. Look at what's going on in Europe. Look what's going on in the United States. Look what's going on in many of these countries. So the wealthier nations like Europe, the United States, their wealth is going to be taken and redistributed to the poorest nations. This is being done as we speak. It's being done slowly. It's being done without a lot of, announcements and things, but it's being done. But when this individual makes his appearance, he's going to do it. It's going to be obvious. It's going to be obvious to everyone what is happening, what he's doing. And so this is going to bring chaos into these nations of the world. It's already happening in Europe. It's happening in America. And so the people are going to offer resistance to this, no doubt. They know that. The people are going to offer resistance to this, no doubt, especially in America, and they know it. And so this is where many of these events also that have been shown to me, nuclear holocaust, nuclear blasts in many United States cities, many U.S. cities are going to experience nuclear detonations, or maybe not nuclear, but detonations, nevertheless. It could be both. It could be a combination of both. And this is going to happen. And the Lord showed me this. The Lord showed me, gave me another experience about this some years ago. And let me see if I can find it. But, I'm sharing these things with you people because, like, some of these things that the Lord has given me, they were like years ago. Some of them over 10 years ago. Some more. And so back then it didn't make any sense. Now it does. Power blackouts. The Lord started giving me dreams and visions about power blackout back in 2013. There was one there on March 3rd, 2013. And he's given me several of those. He showed me the revolution coming to America back in October 10, 2012. This is going to happen together with all of these things that we are talking about. He showed me a super devaluation of the dollar back in September 18, 2012. This is going to happen. And that was an update. The original one that he gave me was in 2009. I saw 2 missiles strike the Pentagon. He showed me that in 2012. This is going to be part of the detonations that are going to take place soon. I'm sharing this because I need to warn you, people. I need to warn you. And you need to prepare yourself because you are not ready for these things. You are pretending that you don't want to hear these things. Like a lot of people you try to share these things with, and they say, no, I don't want to hear it. They turn a deaf ear to it. The Lord showed me the fireballs falling from heaven. He also showed me that is part of the Garabandal warning. In April 28, 2010, this is also going to happen. Lots of fireballs falling everywhere. The people running for their lives. This is going to happen. All of these things are about to happen, people. A lot of these things. The Lord showed me back in 2009, terrorist acts were planned. He even took me to a terrorist meeting, and I saw what they were going to use. I didn't even know what it was. This is going to be used against the people in America. I saw two test tubes with a bluish substance, a gelatinous, not gelatinous. I can't explain it. The bluish substance in it. He took me to a Muslim training center for terrorism here in the United States, and I heard it. I heard a date, not a year, but a month and a day. I remember it was March 7th, and they were planning a specific terrorist event, and I was there. They were very passionate about this, and they thought it was a good thing that they were doing. And this goes along with the other one that I mentioned to you, with explosions in U.S. cities. This was even earlier, in 2008, 15 years ago. I was watching a TV when all of a sudden I started seeing on the TV screen very large explosions taking place in major cities of the United States. They were very large. And I said here in this post, it's posted on our website, has been posted since 2008, March 29. I said maybe small nuclear explosions. Many people died from the explosions. I could see the reporters reporting the explosions, saying how many people had died. And so as I was watching the TV, the reporting from these different cities in the background, I could see the debris of the explosions. I could see the smoke coming out of it. I also heard sirens blaring loudly in the background. All of these things I'm sharing with you because people, these things are about to happen. There are now leaks that have been leaked out of different cities that they're planning to do this soon. And it's going to be done as if it were the Hamas, and there probably will be Hamas in there, or Hezbollah, or Iranian terrorists. And then when you have the head of the FBI come out and say, expect similar things that happened in Israel, the massacre and the horrible things that were done there, expect similar things to start happening in the United States, terrorist acts in the coming months. This is not me saying it, people. This is not me saying these things. This is coming from the mouth of the head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States. He made a statement about that publicly. This is no secret. It's out in the news. Look it up. So these things I know are going to happen because they have been shown to me. The super devaluation of the dollar in January 29, when I returned from Cuba, mission trip, all throughout that night. And I did not even know what that meant. I have shared this with you many times. I didn't even know what a super devaluation was. This is about to happen. Back then, it didn't make any sense, did it? Didn't make any sense at all. Back then, the dollar was strong. I mean, he had its kind of a little hiccups here and there, but it was still strong. Economy was still strong. It was starting to wobble a little bit, but look what's going on now. Look at what is going on now, precious people. Look at what is going on now. Listen to me. This came out just recently, okay? This just came out a day or two ago. The United States, the U.S. credit, Moody has just devalued the U.S. credit from AAA to AAARGH. In New York City, I'm reading from an article here from the news article. A New York City headquarter credit rating giant lowered its outlook of America's credit worthiness from stable to negative on Friday. It's negative, citing the country's worsening fiscal position. How do you like them apples? How do you like them apples, folks? And this is basically a U.S. debt forecast that's shocked. This news shocked the traders and the bankers. When credit rating agency Moody it hit the panic button as the U.S. debt outlook took a dive. When this happened this last Friday, the bankers and the traders, they started an exodus in Wall Street. So this is happening even as I am talking to you today. Okay? This is not something that is maybe happens in 50 years or 20. It's happening, people. It's happening. All of these things are happening. And so this is the situation that we are facing. And the people still are not aware. The people are not waking up. And let me share a couple of more things with you, okay? Because this thing, one of the things that some of the seers said was going to happen before the war and before the now this is not me, okay? This is not me who saw this. Other seers. Is several of them. So I'm not going to mention names because several of them saw this. Is the sinking of a major warship. The sinking of a major warship is going to trigger this event of a war and the assassination also of a political figure. Now, this is going to bring absolute chaos in the United States when you put all of these things together that I just shared with you. Things that the Lord has shown me, not all at once, at different years, like pieces of a puzzle. And today I have been putting together these pieces of the puzzle for you. Not for you to say, oh, how wonderful Augusto is, or no. Listen, I don't care about that. This is not me. I didn't produce any of this. Okay, this is all God. This is all Him, and I give Him all the glory. I give Him all the glory. He's so fit to share these things with His servant, me. That's all, and all I'm doing is sharing it with you. That's all. Trying to shake you up, trying to warn you. So when these things happen, there's going to be absolute chaos in America. And some are also saying that there's going to be some earthquake, some volcanic eruption that is going to also affect, as we are going through these things, that is going to render America weak. And so this is going to cause this nation to listen to this man of lawlessness. And when this happens, this chaos in the world, it's going to be in the world, not just America. When this happens, this is going to be a precursor. The war and all of these things happen, the acts of terrorism and the explosions and the economic collapse, all of these things, and the stepping down of the Pope and the rise of another one, which is not a Pope anymore, something else. This is going to, this chaos is going to be a precursor to the warning that was spoken of at Garabandal. Okay? And so we'll cover this in another program because we ran out of time already. We just got a couple of minutes left. This is going to be this warning, and then the chastisement is going to come later, and I'll explain what that is. And the Lord has also shown me many visions and dreams regarding this warning as well as the chastisement, as well as the revival. One of the things that He showed me in 2009 was that when this economic collapse is taking place, this is going to usher in a great move of His Spirit upon the planet, upon America. But these things are going to have to take place first before these things happen. And these things, and another thing that's going to happen is going to be, and I'll talk about this next time, it's going to be the arrival of a comet. I would not call it a comet. I would call it planet comet. And that's going to lead us to the topic for next time. It's time to get close to Jesus, people. It's time to get close to Him. I don't know how much longer we have, but we do know that He is our hope. He is the blessed hope. So if you have not done so, turn your life around now and make sure that you make Him the Lord of your life, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, because he is all we have. He's going to be your best friend, and he's going to help us go through this. He's going to give you the strength. He's going to give you the shalom to be able to have shalom even as all these things are taking place. And you will not be afraid. You will not be afraid because he is with you. He's going to be with us. This has been another edition of Revelations Beyond the Veil. Augusto Perez. I trust and pray this has blessed you. We'll talk again soon. Shalom.